Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're thriving on whatever day it is. Grab yourself a brew. We're gonna have a chatty video. I feel like I've done quite a lot of chatty videos recently. I have a lot to say, guys. I said on Instagram that I wanted to do a chatty video about second trimester, pregnancy second time around, how I'm feeling about having 2 under 2. And if you're not interested in motherhood, pregnancy, family life, this kind of content and this kind of chat is so boring, and I'm so aware of that. And I know I'm vlogging and talking about being pregnant and being a mum and stuff, but there's a lot I want to talk about that I don't want to include in my vlogs. Like, I'll have dedicated videos on TikTok and stuff like that where I actively talk about it, and if you're not interested you can just scroll along. And for YouTube I thought, yeah, I would do something similar, have a longer chat, because I do chatty stuff on TikTok, but it's only ever a couple of minutes. But I feel like here I can like ramble on for 20-30 minutes and it's a dedicated pregnancy, baby, motherhood chat. If you don't find this kind of stuff interesting, just don't watch this video. You don't need to watch this either, you can just have this on in the background. I have got an oat latte. It is 10 to 3 on my day off, which I will go into later. I have my notes in front of me as usual. Baby brain, mum brain. So if you see me looking down, I'm not disengaged. Is that the right word? I can't think. You know what I mean. I am engaged. I am present. I'm just making sure I say my notes. Let's have a sip. So let's do a quick second trimester recap, as I am soon to be entering my 3rd trimester. I found this trimester way easier than my first for obvious reasons. First trimester had HG, was solo parenting, but compared to my first pregnancy, I have definitely found this trimester so much easier, I think. I know I have a toddler, but she's had a real easy few months, which has really helped me. Also, Faisal is home, he's not on tour, so if I am too tired to take her up to bed, he can do it. My body just hasn't ached as much this time around, and I haven't experienced really painful round ligament pains. I remember in my second trimester, I sometimes had to get a taxi because the 20-minute walk felt like way too far for me because I just had stitches and I was aching. Whereas this time I've been pretty good, and I know I have a toddler, so I have no choice. I have to be more physically active as I was last time, but I just have not found it as strenuous this time around, even though I'm chasing after a toddler, which might sound crazy to some people. From what I see online, people struggle physically a lot more with their second pregnancy. That hasn't happened for me. So if you do have one baby or one child and you're looking to maybe have another baby in the future, I'm not saying that you will find that pregnancy easier. I'm just saying personally for me, physically, I have found this pregnancy easier even though I'm chasing after a toddler all day. And for context, my toddler isn't in nursery. She doesn't have childcare. She doesn't go to a childminder or anything. She's with me, and I still have been all right, you know? Don't get me wrong, it's starting to get a bit harder now, but I definitely would say that I just, in general, have just found it easier. I think a huge part of that is the fact that my body went through this big change not that long ago. So I think the first time around, just into pregnancy, I don't know whether this sounds silly, but I went from being really slim to having a huge bump and gaining a lot of weight. I didn't just stay slim and then get a bump. Do you know what I mean? I was slim, I then had a massive bump and I gained weight. That change felt so extreme. You know, some people from behind just don't look pregnant, but they tend to like maintain their shape, and it's just the bump that you notice. With me, like, everything just kind of got a bit bigger, and I think because that happened so recently in the grand scheme of things, I think my body was just already there. Like, my rib cage, everything has expanded, so all of that growth, yes, my cervix has gone from that to this, but I just still have personally not found it as difficult, and I feel really lucky to say that. Really grateful. I think especially where I just didn't enjoy any of my first pregnancy really. This time around I feel like I have enjoyed it, even though it's gone really quick, so I'm really happy about that. My diet has been very carby, very sugary. I will never ever glamorize pregnancy. I've been mainly eating beans on toast, a couple of tomatoes now and then, a couple of bags of broccoli, but it's been chocolate, bread, beans, and listen, I will take whatever I can get after having HG in the first trimester. The fact that I'm eating, for me, that's good enough. I do like to try and be as healthy as I can, but in pregnancy, like my first, it kind of goes out the window, and I am just eating what I want when I want. I know that when the baby's born, I'm gonna look at all the weight gain and think, oh, for goodness sake, but in pregnancy, I am not thinking about future me, I'm thinking about me right now. And if I want a big bar of chocolate, a bag of popcorn and beans on toast for lunch. That's what I'm having. I'm not restricting myself. I'm not calorie counting or anything like that. So I'd love to say I've had a really super healthy diet, but it, in all honesty, has been fairly processed. I'm hoping it will change a bit in the third trimester, but I don't know. Mood-wise, I felt okay, to be fair. I'm only now, sorry, my hair's gonna really annoy me. I'm trying to embrace my natural hair, but I don't like it. Today I've just decided, I don't know, when I'm not pregnant, my curls are really nice, but in pregnancy, I don't know whether it's because my hair volume just increases, but it's just frizzy and it's not as curly as it usually is. If you see me adjusting my hair, I'm so sorry, I know that's really irritating, but my mood's been great. I've actually been okay. I haven't felt that hormonal. It's only really been the kind of last week where I am noticing that my hormones are maybe ramping up because everything and everyone's annoying me. Everyone's annoying me, and I have not raised my voice, but I've been a bit, I'd say like a tiny bit aggy with Faisal, and listen, it goes straight over his head. He's so, I think, you know, the first time it happens, he's a bit shocked, and then he realizes, oh wait, no, my wife is pregnant. And he actually has it really easy in terms of my mood because I just am not really very aggy, but I've been like, no, Faisal, listen, Faisal. And he's like, okay. But there is something really upsetting going on in my personal life. So that's obviously affected my mood because that's somebody's very, very poorly and it's kind of taking over a lot of my brain. It's challenging to deal with whilst pregnant, but that isn't pregnancy related, that's external. So pregnancy wise, I do think that my mood's been fine. Watch it change in like a week. I am sleeping, but I'm not sleeping. The sleep is definitely decreasing. Last night, I think I got 2.5 hours sleep. I was up at 3 a.m. And that was it for the rest of the night. I was just up at 3, and at one point it got to 5:30 and I was like, I should just sit up and watch last night's Love Island. It's getting really uncomfortable now and I know it's only going to get worse. Restless leg syndrome is back. Heartburn is back. I yearn for bedtime so much all day, especially when it gets to 3 p.m. I think, oh my god, I cannot do this for another 4 hours, like I need to go to bed. And then when bedtime comes, I feel this absolute drop in happiness, thinking, oh no, but it's just going to be another night of tossing and turning and just not sleeping. But I've done it once before. I know what I'm getting myself into. It's hell and it doesn't get any easier. It just gets worse. But then when the baby comes, I personally found newborn sleep so much easier than pregnancy sleep, because at least when you sleep with a newborn, you actually are asleep. You do get woken up every 20 minutes, but you do actually, like, when you're asleep and it's restful. But when you're pregnant, you don't get restful sleep because you wake up and you're still in it. Yeah, I would say on the whole, I've enjoyed this trimester, which I never thought I'd say, so that's good. I think the plate spinning is one of the things I found the most challenging. So at the minute I'm spinning my wife plate, my mum plate, my pregnancy plate, and it's my work and social plate that feel like they're just completely fallen. I mean, my social plate is like, unless somebody's coming to my house, I feel like that has fallen off. I don't know, I'm hoping that'll change a little in the next trimester. I think especially when I decide to go on like maternity leave. What's mat leave when you're like freelance actor? I'm hoping to like see all of my friends then, but I'm really missing my friends. I'm just finding it really, really difficult to find the time to see them in between everything else. I think with Faisal being away for so long and then being back home, the last 6 weeks I have just kind of wanted to be with him, and also I'm wanting to spend as much time with my toddler one-on-one as possible before the baby comes, because I know things are going to be completely different then. I'm also aware that the weather's disgusting, so the thought of taking Athena out in this weather on my own with a big bump to meet friends is just kind of like ooh, no. The second trimester in my first pregnancy, I saw my friends every single day basically. I was either working or seeing friends, and it was so social, so fun. I was in a lot of pain and not like enjoying that, but I felt really, I don't know, by the end of my second trimester I felt really good that I'd done these things. I'd been to loads of gigs and I've seen all my friends and stuff like that, whereas I just haven't done that this time around. But the circumstances and the time of year are just completely different. Like January, February, just dressing, I just have not, in the slightest, and it's no secret, I have not enjoyed dressing this time around. I loved dressing my bump in my first pregnancy. It was so much fun, and I feel like I really like found my style then, and yeah, people enjoyed that content, and people enjoyed that, me dressing and seeing what I was wearing, whereas this time it's just not a thing, and it hasn't been a thing. Obviously having a toddler has a lot to do with dressing, in the sense that if we're out and about I can't wear a super short skirt, and it's winter so I can't get my bump out. I mean, I don't like dressing in the winter anyway because I'm not a winter person. How many times can I say this? I am a spring, summer, autumn girl. Like, I love transitional periods and I love the summer. I just hate, guys, I just hate the winter. I hate layering. Like, wearing like a long sleeve top like I'm wearing today literally makes me feel sick. It just, I've hated it. Every day I wake up with dread, and I posted this on TikTok because I bought a couple new items of clothing just to fit my bump. But even then I'm like, I'm just not excited about it. I'm not taking as many outfit pictures and like bump photos and stuff because I'm just like, it's winter. Like, I'm ugly, I'm pale, I hate layering, I hate layers. I just hate wearing a vest and then a jumper and then a jacket and then I know it's a huge part of people's style, and I really like watching people style the layer, but I hate layering, and I've hated dressing this pregnancy. I just feel so ugly all the time, and I'm hoping if the weather starts to get better, no sign of that, but if it does, maybe I'll find that a little bit easier. But it's the fact that like I have to wear a big massive coat on top of everything. Guys, I'm just gonna shut up now because I'm just gonna wind myself up. And even on Pinterest, I'm looking at winter pregnancy outfits, winter maternity, and I'm looking at it all and I'm like, it's just boring. Let's touch quickly on C-sections because I've been asked quite a bit about it, and I've replied to like private DMs, but I thought I would just talk about it as well. My scar has stretched. I didn't even think about that when I got pregnant. I think because it just happened so quick. I didn't even anticipate the fact that my C-section scar would stretch, and when it was happening it was itchy and uncomfortable, but it wasn't painful. It looks red, but it isn't sore or anything like that. It's absolutely fine. Buy bigger pants. I already had some bigger pants from my first pregnancy, but I've just bought loads more in different styles because of what clothes I'm wearing. I'm finding that anything anywhere near the scar, just like when it's healing, yeah, I'm finding anything that I'm wearing that is anywhere near the scar is uncomfortable, which is a bit similar to when you initially have a C-section and you have to either wear things underneath your scar or loose fitting things or things high-waisted. And I'm finding that like my maternity jeans, the denim sits where the scar is, and that's uncomfortable. So I have had to adapt what I'm wearing because of the scar, which is a little bit annoying, but yeah, I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. My plans for my third trimester, I can't believe we're already here. This has gone so quick. I really want to do as much as I can social wise. I don't know how feasible that is going to be, but I want to dedicate, guys, it's just been impossible. I just guess I've had quite a lot of phone conversations on the phone with friends, but I also feel like, I know nobody's made me feel like this, but I haven't felt like a very present friend recently. And that's obviously just because of my circumstances, and nobody's made me feel like that. But I am aware that at the minute I'm not the most present friend. However, I expect to be more present when I slow down into the third trimester and go on maternity leave. It's just been complete chaos, and everybody understands as well, even people that don't have kids. And I've apologized if I've been late replying or something. I've said, look, you're a busy mum. I completely get it. So people understand that I have a toddler and I am pregnant and stuff like that. But I'm really conscious of the fact that I'm not at the minute able to be the friend that I want to be. But I'm self-aware of that. I know that that's a thing. I know it's not even a case of like I can be better. It's just the circumstances at the minute just a bit crazy, and I think things going on in my personal life as well are really taking up that extra space that I would have. I don't know, I got a little bit teary at 3 a.m. this morning thinking, oh my god, when you're going through, it doesn't matter, pregnancy or whatever, in life, if you're going through a lot, you kind of don't really realise, do you, until you take a step back or you look at yourself from a bird's eye point of view and list everything and you think, oh my god, you're going through a lot. It was only when I realised, wow, like I'd gone through everything in the first trimester, husband away for 4 months, and then pregnant, and then everything things going on behind the scenes and stuff, and I kind of, and a toddler as well, and I kind of underestimated just how taxing that would be. And I'm really conscious of, in pregnancy, just not allowing any extra stress into my life. So I feel like the reason why I haven't like made all of these fun social plans and weekends away, and I've not even been going to gigs and stuff like that, because I just want to eliminate any kind of stress. I mean, I don't mean stress in the bad sense, any kind of stress on my body, whether that's fun, whether that is negative, positive. I'm trying to eliminate any of that just to give my pregnancy like the best possible chance. I feel really lucky that I can do that, but I'm also aware that I just not being as good of a friend as I want to. Nobody's making me feel bad. I don't think anybody's annoyed at me. I really don't think so, because I think people would just tell me. But yeah, I just want to point out that I'm conscious that I'm not as like involved or engaged as I would usually be. And I just hope that, yeah, this next trimester I can find the time and stuff. I think as well with Faisal having lots of things work-wise that are taking up a lot of his time as well, I'm conscious of that. But I feel like, yeah, in the next couple of months, I think hopefully, because I know he wants to spend a bit more time with Athena, I'm hoping that I can claw back some time and then dedicate that to going to see my friends. I want to make as much content as I can this time around and make more end of pregnancy, newborn content. I feel like it was just so crazy last time, and it was the first time that I just didn't really want to document it, but I would like to this time. I want to do as much as I can before the baby's here, just because I might want to have a proper maternity leave this time. I think I'm going to find having 2 under 2 really hard, and so I am contemplating taking a real maternity leave, even if it's just for a couple of months. Last time I was on maternity allowance, self-employed, but I used up all of my 10, is it your 10? You can have 10 work days. I used those up really quickly because I found the transition of just going straight into motherhood with no work really hard, and no disrespect, really boring. I was so bored, like, of the same routine day in, day out. And also that was like my first experience being a housewife. So boring. Stay-at-home mum, so boring. That's nothing against like my daughter or anything like that. I don't do well in repetition and routine. Repetition and routine for me make me feel really low and miserable. I need constant change. I need constant, not stimulation, that's not the right word. I'm not neurodivergent or anything like that. I don't have ADHD or anything like that. I would never claim that. I am just somebody that likes things to switch up a lot, and that's why I do the job that I do, and I live in very uncertain career times. But I'm used to it now, and it still is boring sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong with Faisal's on tour, it's really boring, but I feel like I might just want to soak up the maternity leave life. I've had a bit of a taste of it recently because with Faisal being back, I've been like a little wife. How do I word this? Faisal is now, and ever since the baby was born, the main provider. Like, he pays for almost everything, and I found that transition at the start really hard. It's not, I don't know, it felt really weird, just like him paying for everything and me not. It was weird. I'm used to it now, don't get me wrong, and I kind of like it, guys. Like, it's nice. And I do feel really grateful that I am not in a marriage where it's 50-50 in terms of like finances. Like, he's like, no, you are the default parent, you are the mum, your main focus is raising these tiny little humans, and I go out and work and I pay for things. Like, that's how it should be. And I'm really grateful that he's like that. And it was really hard to get used to like not paying rent and stuff like that. But recently, with him being home and like us just going out for coffee and food, and then like having a takeaway when we get back, and him paying for it all, it's been quite nice. And yeah, I feel like I've had a sense of the maternity leave recently because my workload has decreased a lot because I just am too pregnant. I'm not too pregnant to work, it's just a lot of the work that has been coming in is for somebody who isn't pregnant, and I have a bump, so there are certain jobs I can do, like skincare stuff that I've done recently. That's been fine because it's just been my face, but a lot of the things that are coming in I am having to turn down or pause for a bit because I'm just too pregnant to do it. So I have kind of had to take like a slightly early semi-maternity leave anyway, because my job isn't sat at a desk or sat on the phone. It is me, my body is my job, and I am pregnant, and for some reason both pregnancies I've not really seen much out there for pregnant people. As soon as I'm not pregnant I see so many castings for like maternity stuff, but now that I'm pregnant I just don't see it. Anyway, that's a complete tangent, but yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with that. So I am contemplating having like an actual maternity leave, whether it's a month, whether it's 3 months, whether it's a year. I'm not too sure. I highly doubt it will be that long, and I'm definitely gonna, when work comes in, if I want to do it, I'm obviously going to do it. But I think for a little bit, for a couple of months, I might prioritize just like actually being on maternity leave, and like my focus just being getting up and breastfeeding and playing with my toddler, like, and not having to think about filming and schedules and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see. I might have the next baby and be up at 3 a.m. thinking, what on earth am I doing now, you know? But in terms of like work, I think I'd like to just have a little bit of a break. I say this, I feel like I'm just going to become postpartum and just be like, oh my god, can I just have an email about a shoot or something? There is, guys, there is so much I need to do for the baby's arrival, and I just like it's just a bit too much. And you would think, I was so naive, I was like, oh, well, we have a baby now, so if we have another baby soon, we have everything. No, because things break, things get so worn over time. Things, if you get them secondhand, are more likely to break or aren't safe. So for us, we have only got, in preparation for the next baby, 5 vests. That's all we have, that's all we've prepped, that's all I bought. Let me just readjust, this is becoming really uncomfortable. A couple of things that we still need to sort out is a next to me crib for the next to the bed, a Moses basket for downstairs, although my cousin Kezia, who got us one last time from Facebook Marketplace, I think she's done the exact same thing again. She's an angel. Kezia, I love you. A double buggy. There is no way I am not getting a double buggy. A double pram. Athena is walking, but she's only 17 months. Like, there's no way she's going to be walking for miles and okay. And I don't feel 100% confident with her just being on one of those, you know, you can get an attachment for your pram that's like a little trike and your kid just kind of sits on it or stands on it. That's not, like, they're not strapped in. That's not safe. We're going to need a double pram, double buggy, and we haven't bought one yet because we can't decide which one we like. Do we get the side-by-side one, or do we get one in front, one behind? And the thing is, what we need to consider is me, the fact that I'm not the strongest person ever, and it needs to get on and off buses easily. It needs to be able to get on and off trains easily. We plan on driving at some point in our lives, but embarrassingly, I don't drive. So it needs to be something that's easy to take on public transport. But then also it's thinking about, like, what about when we get in Ubers and stuff like that? Like, guys, what do you do when you're getting in an Uber or a taxi with your toddler? Because you can't carry 2 car seats out with you. Like, it's fine for a baby because you can have your newborn attachment on the pram. But what do you do when there's you and your toddler? Like, you won't have a car seat. Like, that's something I keep stressing about. That's, like, this is so off topic, but that's something I am, like, concerned about. I'm not, like, too worried. I think it's going to be more a case of, like, I'm going to feel like I'm going insane. But all I need to do is, in advance of Pfizer going on tour, is to create plans with people. But anyway, I need to buy full and pack the hospital bag. I think I want to do that quite early on, just so I know it's done, and just, like, keep it in a cupboard, because for some reason it stressed me out quite a bit. So I want to get that sorted, especially now that I've done it. I've gone and had a baby, so I know what I need. Redo Athena's bedroom as it's chaos. We were going to move, then we're not moving, and we are going to move next year. We rent this place. We don't want to stay in Sheffield. We're not massive fans of Sheffield, so we haven't, like, committed to, like, decorating a bedroom or anything like that, because we don't know where we're going to be. Long story short, she's just got stuff everywhere. We need another chest of drawers because we're gonna have 2 babies. We need a wardrobe to put clothes in. Athena doesn't have enough storage space as it is. She just has a chest of drawers, which is just not enough for a toddler. So we need to buy storage. We need to rebuy the electric swinging chair, because Athena loved that chair so much for the first 6 months of her life. She was in that chair all the time. She would nap in there, play in there. She loved it. She just loved it, and it meant that we could get stuff done. Honestly, sometimes she'd be in there for, like, when she was older and she could hold her head up and stuff, she could be in there for like an hour just watching and just, like, being happy. So I want to buy the exact same one again. It broke and it was past its warranty guarantee, but we couldn't fix it, so I want to rebuy that exact same one. And I also want to get a bouncer that's not an electric one, just like a £20 Amazon bouncer, or if somebody's getting rid of a secondhand one, just get one of those, because I think downstairs I want a Moses basket to sleep in, and then a swinging chair to, like, chill in, and then in the bedroom I want the next to me crib, and I also want a little bouncer as well, just to sit next to me if I'm getting ready or if I'm doing my makeup or whatever. This house is on 4 floors. This house is on 4 floors, yeah, so I can't be lifting and carrying everything anywhere. And when we lived in Liverpool, we were in an apartment. It was all on 1 floor, so we just dragged whatever she was in into the next room that we needed to be in. It was so easy. We didn't even use a baby monitor until we moved to this house. So for the first, like, 4 or 5 months of her life, I never turned on a baby monitor because we just didn't need it, because we were on the same floor. Anyway, sleep sacks. I just cannot find. Athena she was in a newborn sleep sack. She didn't like it, so she just had a blanket on, but I need to get some sleep sacks for her age. Really like sleep sacks. Athena is still in a sleep sack and she's 1.5 years nearly. Clothes. All of Athena's newborn clothes are for winter, basically. So we have loads of baby grows, so I don't even need to think about buying a baby grow because she's just got loads. But I'm thinking, what about when it gets really hot? I'm not too sure. sure. I feel like I don't really need to worry about that yet. There's nothing in the shops for summer, obviously, and I don't know how big she's going to be, so I feel like as long as I've got some strappy vests in case she's born and it's really hot, but as it stands I just need to get all of the baby grows from my dad's, because my dad's got them all in a little drawer because he kept them there for us because we just had no room. New bottles. I plan to exclusively breastfeed, however I will be expressing. I don't know if I'm going to use the same pumps I had last time or if I'm going to get a new set, but as it stands I want to exclusively breastfeed for as long as possible. If you know about my tongue tie situation, you know I wasn't able to breastfeed for as long as I wanted to, and I want to give it a really good go this time now that I know what tongue tie is and that I just need to pay to get it snipped off. But I do want to express and try, I know it's easy said than done, but I want to try and have a little stock of breast milk in the freezer as a just in case, because I don't want to not be able to be away from my baby. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need me time. I need my own time. I want to just, if I'm postpartum and I've just had enough, I want to just go take myself off for a couple of hours and not think, shit, I need to get back because I need to feed. I want to like feed, leave for a few hours, know that there's some breast milk in the freezer that I've expressed or whatever, and just do that. I want Faisal to have that bonding time with the baby and feed through a bottle. I also want that transition after I breastfeed to be smooth from just going from the boob straight to the bottle. So I do want to do breast and bottle. I think for postpartum I probably will just breastfeed, but after a couple of months, when I start getting itchy feet, I think we'll probably do bottles as well. Maybe even go to combi, I'm not sure, but I do want to give breastfeeding a good go, and I feel really positive about it this time because I just know Faisal's not going to let me go through the tongue tie saga that happened last time. Like, he's just so aware that it was so traumatic last time, and he just doesn't want me to go through that, so I do feel really confident about that. A play mat, that's another thing we need. I gave my mum Athena's play mat because I want a new one for this baby, so I need to get a play mat, but they're only like, what, £28? Morrison's usually have one lying about on offer, so I'll probably just get that, but again, I don't really need to think about that until April. It'll soon be here though. I also need to figure out like where we put the newborn inserts for the pram and the car seat and all of that. Like, where are they? We moved into this house and we just shoved things in places, and I just can't, you know, like there's no storage. Like, new builds that just have no storage. This house has no storage. There's one tiny cupboard, and when you live with a musician, any storage you have is filled with flight cases and pelly cases, and oh my god, yeah. Where you, a normal person, would have your newborn baby bath and your old pram, we can't do that because I married a musician. I even can't help but think about things like I'm gonna have to have my biab removed like before the baby's here because I don't want to have anything on my nails when I have a newborn. Sort that out. I've also been like contemplating, like, should I get eyelash extensions? Which is so silly. It's because my lashes are really bad at the minute, but that's just... I want to touch on honest parenting chat. Let's have a quick honest parenting chat. I thought a lot about my first year of motherhood and what I want to change, and I think the main thing for me is that I'm really happy with how everything went, but I want to make sure that I am making sure I'm filling my cup up, which I thought I was doing because I was seeing my friends and doing stuff and going out and flying to Ibiza for 2 nights, but what I put Faisal's career before my own basic needs, and he didn't ask me to do that. He didn't expect me to do that. I did it to myself, and I have learned that actually benefits no one at all, because what would happen was I would get to a complete state of burnout and then Faisal would have to pick up the pieces. So we had a long chat about it. I said, I know your career obviously has to be priority because you are the one paying for everything. However, I need some time to either work or play or rest or whatever. So every week since the start of the year, I have 1 day a week. Every single week I have my 1 day and I can do whatever I want with that day. That's my day today, and today I've spent it going to get my nails done, doing a bit of like prep for our baby moon. We're taking Athena, and I've been watching the American Next Top Model documentary. I've just been, you know, like just chilling a bit, taking it easy. This is my day. I'm not parenting today, and I have this every single week without fail, and if it doesn't have to fall on the same day, but it usually does, and that has made such a difference. Don't get me wrong, I would love 2 days a week just for me, but that 1 day a week just for myself has made me feel so much lighter and happier and healthier, and Faisal loves it as well. Faisal knows he's got 1 day a week that is his with Athena, and that's his day with Athena, and he can do whatever he wants on that day. He dresses her like everything, and Athena loves that day as well, and it's really sweet, and that's definitely been a massive improvement. I think because we're in creative careers, it's not scheduled, it's not a 9 to 5, so his job is basically basically 24/7, so whenever he can, he's doing things, and it's not like he clocks off at 6, comes home, and then can help me with bath and bed. Very often he's working in the evening, so it's difficult to structure anything in, you know. It's not like, you know, every weekend we hang out and we have fun because he's not at work. That doesn't happen. It might be like on a random Tuesday that we like just hang out for the day. Do you know what I mean? It's not linear, it's not set in stone. So I just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of let everything run away with me. And then after a while I was like, wait, I have not had a break in so long and I need it. I'm not ashamed to say I am somebody who needs baby free time to fill my cup up. I can't be mum 24/7. I mean, I obviously am, but I don't feel bad about going and getting my nails done. I don't feel bad about spending the day by myself or going to work and filming all day. Like, it doesn't get to like an hour and I'm thinking, oh, I should be back home. I'm like, no, I'm enjoying myself and filling my cup. I guess it's the contrast of loving being a mum but not wanting to be a stay-at-home mum. I know I basically am that, but it's more of a case of it has to be like this for now, if that makes sense. Like, I know when my kids are 4 and 5 and they're going to school, life's going to be a little bit different and I'll be able to claw back some of my time and put more into my career. And I spoke with Faisal the other day and he said he's really hopeful and excited for in the future to have a bit of downtime where he can just maybe be the default parent for a bit. And I was like, no, that will happen because there's going to be at some point in the future where, Faisal, you are the housewife and the mum for a bit whilst I go off and play and work and do stuff like that. Like, it's going to balance itself out. So I am feeling hopeful about it. But to be honest, I have written off sounds really negative. I don't mean it in a negative sense, but in my mind, I've kind of written off the next 4 years to dedicate that purely into raising tiny humans, because I don't really want to send them to nursery. I will put them in something before school so that the transition's not as hard, but I don't want to send my kids to nursery if I don't need to, and I feel really lucky that I don't have to. It would cost us more to put them in nursery. We'd lose money if we put them in nursery, so it's just easier for them to be with me. Oh my god, I've been chatting for too long. I need to wrap this up. There's a couple of questions. I'm going to answer a couple of questions now because I am aware that I've been speaking for so long. I have so many more notes, so I might do another part maybe in the 3rd trimester, but I'm going to quickly answer a couple of questions and then wrap this up because this is just such a long video. First question is, what will you do differently with baby number 2 now that you know what you know? I will no longer let myself feel guilty for what I can't do as a parent. And by that I mean I won't feel guilty for what I can't do when I'm solo parenting for an extended period of time. With Athena, when Faisal was on tour, I would often see peers do all of these classes and go to all of these places and do all of these things and do so much with them in the day and everything. And if I'm just solo parenting a baby for like months at a time, I can't do all of those things because I'm only human. Do you know what I mean? It is just me. There's no one coming home in the evening. There's no one here at the weekends. And I would feel like a bad mum, you know, if days where she'd be playing a bit more by herself, having a bit more screen time because I've got to film an ad campaign for a brand, I would think, oh god, I shouldn't have done that. And now I'm like, you know what, like, that's just my situation. That's my situation. I don't need to feel bad about that. There is only so much I can do in the day. Anybody who is going through something similar or who is solo parenting, sometimes all you can do in the day is get through the day. Like, now that Faisal's home, I feel so lucky that in the evening, in the morning, in the middle of the day, if he's home, if I need 5 minutes to do something, he can just do that. And that makes such a difference. But it's so exhausting when you're doing it all by yourself, especially if I'm on my period and I've got endometriosis symptoms. Like, it's so hard. But the truth is, I am only human. I am only one person. We don't have much family here at all. There's 2 people here that help, but they work full time. So our physical village is extremely small, and I should be proud of myself for the fact that I've got such a happy and healthy little girl. And I know that is predominantly because of me. I think something else is I will expect nothing from anyone, but I will be more transparent when I'm struggling. I did such a good job of just getting on with it that family who don't live near here just had no idea just how difficult it was, what I was going through. I just didn't even really think about it. And it was not that I expect people to get it, obviously, but I don't think it really like hit home until like my mum would say, you know, think about it, when Faisal's on tour, Ellie is basically a single parent. Now, I would never say I'm a single parent. I'm not. I have the best husband ever. But logistically, like physically, when he's on tour, he's not here. He's on the other end of the phone, but there's a time difference. Do you know what I mean? Like, when he's on tour, it is just me. There is nobody coming to help me. It is just me. It all falls on me. And I don't think in the first like year of Athena's life, I don't think they really realised that, you know, like raising a baby is difficult. But when you've got a circle of people around you, popping in, taking them out, blah, 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 having them overnight, it's manageable. But when it is just you, it's really, really difficult. And I didn't expect anybody to understand it, but I was also shocked when they were shocked. Do you know what I mean? So I think this year I'm going to be more transparent with people, and I will say, hey, I need some help. I need some help. Can somebody come and help me? That's what I want to do this time around. Thirdly, I will really rest in the knowledge that everything's just a phase. I think hard moments are never forever, just like the good ones, they're never forever. I feel like having gone through regressions and teething and so on, I will now know what to expect. And when I'm having these sleepless nights when my baby's 4 months old, I'll think this might last for years, but it's not going to be forever. And I think that'll make things easier, just knowing that I've already been through it. And yeah, all these hard moments is just a moment in time. And I feel like it's happened with this pregnancy. All of the hard symptoms that I've had, I've always thought, yeah, but it'll change. It's not going to last forever. And there's real comfort in that. And I think I feel really lucky that I've already been through this. And yes, going through it with 2 under 2 is going to be very, 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 very difficult. But they're all moments in time. They're fleeting. I will look back on these days in 30 years and yearn for them. Fourth, I will see if Pfizer can pay for a personal trainer for me, because once I've had this baby, I need to lose the weight. Just personal preference. I don't like the weight I gained. I didn't lose it all before I got pregnant again. Didn't like my body. Didn't like the weight gain. Just being completely honest and transparent, I want to lose that weight. I know how hard it is because I really struggled, especially when he's on tour. I'm just too tired and I just need to eat beans on toast. But I'm remaining hopeful, and I'm thinking if I ask my husband to pay for me to have a personal trainer, even just an online one, just someone online to just help me, I think I'll feel a bit more motivated. So maybe that could be my push present. Fifth, and most importantly, pre-book a tongue tie appointment. I'm not going through that trauma again, absolutely no chance. When it gets to near my due date, we're going to book a private appointment. If we don't then need that appointment because the baby doesn't have a tongue tie, we're going to donate it to somebody less fortunate than us. That's what's happening. Sixth, I'm not even thinking about visitors until I'm good and ready. I'm sorry, I don't care. I just know I'm gonna enjoy soaking up the newborn stage without thinking about anybody coming round. I'm sorry, you're not coming round until I'm ready. Whether that's 2 weeks later, 6 weeks later, or even 2 months later, I don't know. I know that's gonna annoy our family and friends, but I'm not having you come round until I'm ready for that. I just want to absorb it. I had such a horrible time last time and I'm not doing it again. Sorry to be blunt. How does this pregnancy compare and contrast to your first? Overall, I've just found it easier. It's been harder in the sense that I don't come first anymore. My daughter does. So not being able to like indulge in this pregnancy and be selfish and be weighted on hand and foot. Yeah, that's not as fun, but it is what it is. I don't have the pregnancy glow this time. It just never came. Guys, I just am not glowing. Last time I just was a stun hun. I did look beautiful in my first pregnancy. I looked gorgeous. I don't this time. I've got a toddler and it's winter. It's also gone really, really fast this time. Last time when everybody said to me, it's gone so fast, I thought, shut up. Like, it has for you because you're not growing a human. But I will agree with everyone this time, and it has gone really quick. Ask me in a month's time when I'm like waddling, but so far it's been really quick. Last question, because I need to wrap this video up. I'd love to see you talk about tongue tie, reflux, colic, etc. All the real newborn trenches. Social media really glorifies the newborn stage. It's full of soft, beige, white blonde women with classical music. Spend the day with me in my newborn baby. And it's like, the reality just isn't like that. The reality isn't even like that for them. It's a very curated, polished look at the newborn stage, and people's realities isn't like that. Their reality isn't like that. You won't see them arguing with their husband, or I don't know, them being sick on, being pooed on, and them having no sleep. Like, those videos are really cute and they're lovely, and don't get me wrong, there are some gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous newborn moments, like just staring at them, holding them, like, oh, it's amazing. But it's really difficult, and they call it the newborn trenches because it is like being in the trenches. And I feel like the people that show the reality of what the newborn trenches is like on social media are kind of branded as negative, or trying to put people off, or why did you have a baby then if you don't like it, blah 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 blah, whatever. But they call it the newborn trenches for a reason. It's hard. Magical? Yes. But it is really difficult. Am I excited for it? Yes. Am I also nervous? Yes. In terms of tongue tie, I have done a whole really long video on it, so I will link that below where I go into it in detail. Reflux and colic isn't something I think I can properly honestly speak about, because I was really, really lucky with Athena that I didn't deal with that. She didn't have colic as far as I'm aware, and she didn't have reflux. All I know is that if you have a baby with colic or reflux, it is extremely difficult, and I don't think it's talked about enough. You are already exhausted because you have a newborn, but add colic and reflux on top of that, it's extra difficult, and I think it should be talked about more. I do think you should be warned about it in pregnancy. Same with tongue tie. I do think that you should be informed that these things can happen and they can ruin it for you. Just can. Like, you can love your baby with all your heart, but you can also have had your whole experience of the newborn stage ruined by it. It's just how it is. Newborn trenches. I also find it, now that I think it's just because I'm pregnant, but now that I'm having my second baby, I do find it really, really weird that people just expect to turn up and be hosted by you after you've just given birth. Especially if you have a colicky baby, reflux baby, poorly baby, tongue tie baby. There will be people that still expect to like come to yours and you make them food. What? Sorry, I've got cramp. Oh God, guys, pregnancy cramp in your leg is the worst thing ever. Your body doesn't look like yours anymore, your clothes don't fit, you can hardly wash yourself, you smell. It's also, like I said before, it's also really boring sometimes. I remember when I was in an aquarium and Athena was a couple of weeks old, and a woman came in and her baby must have been about 6 months old, and she looked at me and she said, "It's really boring, isn't it?" And I nearly cried. I was like, yeah, I'm really bored. And I'd never felt so seen in my life. Like, I did find it really boring, guys. The toddler stage, like the stage Athena's at now, is so, every day so much fun. Like, I am loving this stage of motherhood, that now that she's a toddler. Like, she's not quite reached the terrible twos yet, so she's not having meltdowns at the minute. It is just fun. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up now because Faisal is calling me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.